Hello and welcome to Disembodied Screams, a channel diving into the link between horror and heavy metal music. With that said, let's get started on this debut episode. Album information for Tropical Sun is from bandcamp.com. It goes like this. It says the Italian death metal band Fulci, named after the master of gore, continues their tribute to Lucio's filmography, releasing on TTK Records their second album, inspired by the cult movie Zombie 2, entitled Tropical Sun. Recorded, mixed, and mastered by Ando at Till Death Recording Studio, Tropical Sun contains 14 tracks of rotting death metal, groovy slams, atmospheric horror, and 90s first wave of death metal low-tone growls. Tropical Sun will drive you in a death metal cinematic experience of almost 34 minutes. This record should be played loud. I agree with that 1,000%. This album is awesome. I really, really do dig it so much. From Brutalist.com, personnel on this one. It says the Italian slam death metal. Slam death metal? I swear, there are so many terms for metal bands and metal out there. It's crazy. It says the Italian slam death metal band trio Fulci are back with their latest album, Tropical Sun. This album is their second full-length album and was released under Time to Kill Records. Hailing from Caserta, Italy, Fulci is composed of Dome, guitar and synth, Fiore on vocals, and Clem on bass. All right, that's the album information, that's the band information, that's kind of just the getting in the weeds part of Fulci. So let's go ahead and dive into the horror side of things now. Start with the album title, Tropical Sun. I'm going to give that a 1 on the horror scale. That's not a very horror sounding title. If I saw Fulci Tropical Sun and knew nothing about this band, I would not know this was heavy metal horror through and through. So unfortunately, I got to give that one a 1. I love the title. I'm a big Jimmy Buffett fan. Ironically, I love, not ironically, that's what's word I'm looking for. I'm all over spectrum kind of music guy. I guess I should get into this on the debut episode. I'll go anywhere from Cattle Decapitation, Fulci kind of style of music, down to Jimmy Buffett. I love to turn on some Jimmy Buffett and get lost in some cool vibes and chill moments. So Tropical Sun sounds like a really good title for a Buffett album. Not so much for a death metal album. But knowing it's playing off the zombie movie, I see why they did it. But if you don't know what this is about, then of course you would not think nothing of horror when you hear Tropical Sun. So it's got to go for a 1 on that one. Songs, let's go like this. Voodoo Gore Ritual, instrumental. Tropical Sun, Apocalypse Zombie, Splatter Fatality, I like that name. Matul Tribal Cult, Legion of the Resurrected, Palms by the Cemetery, Witch Doctor, instrumental. Genetic Zombification, Eye Full of Maggots. I love that title. That's why we'll be the song title Deep Dive. Church of the Undead, Blue Inferno, Immortality Virus, instrumental, and March of the Living Dead, instrumental. Songs on the horror scale, I'm going to rate that a solid 5. That's a big 5 for me on the scale, because there are a few songs like Tropical Sun, Matul Tribal Cult, that don't really, Blue Inferno, they don't really invoke horror, but the rest of them, especially Legion of the Resurrected, Palms by the Cemetery, Church of the Undead. I mean, those are some great horror titles. So, songs, 5 on the horror scale. And then I'm also going to dive into what I call a song title deep dive, where I take the one title that stood out to me the most, or the one title that I think is probably the most horrific, and dive into it a little deeper and kind of read the lyrics. Hopefully YouTube won't slam me for copyright on reading lyrics, because they slam me for copyright for everything these days. So, song title deep dive, Eye Full of Maggots, metalkingdom.net's where I got the lyrics. Go like this. Flesh full of maggots crawling on your skin, eye full of maggots crawling. Worms eat the flesh of the dead. They feast in forgotten graves. Vermin swarm in deep dead holes until the corpse reborn again. Moving underground, waiting for the sound. Drums bang the macabre sound. Zombie flesh eaters, which was an original, has been a title for this movie, Zombie Flesh Eaters, in the past. Rising from the grave, decomposed body, putrefied face, bloody pale sun rises among the graves on this infernal tropical day. Under the sun, eye full of maggots, ravenous ghouls bite to death. Love it. Invokes so much horror, man. That song title invokes so much horror. The song does too. And listening to Fulci sing this out is just like, it adds so much atmosphere to it. All right, let's move on to the big minutia of all this. I guess that's the right word. I might have to look that up to make sure I didn't sound like an idiot saying that. The cover. The cover is really what pulled me in to this idea initially. Cattle Decapitation, I was listening to one of their albums. I don't know which one it was. And I was looking at the cover. It might have been To Serve Man. And I was looking at their album cover and I was like, there's something there with horror. And that's when this whole idea started. So be looking for that album coming up soon. But album cover, I'm going to rate this one a 6 on the horror scale. Because if you look at this album cover really closely, you've got the zombies in the sky, and you got this tropical landscape that fits the movie very well. You got these zombies shuffling about in the distance. You've got 2 zombies down there eating a body, obviously, full of red and blood. Then you got the big zombie head right there at the front that just straight from the movie itself. So 6 on a horror scale for that album cover. It just that to me, if I saw the title, I wouldn't think horror, but if I saw the cover, I would think horror. So title 1, cover 6. So at this point in time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add up all 3 of those things I did. The songs, the title, and the cover. Add them together, divide them by 3, and this one came out to be a solid 4. So on a scale of 1 to 6, 1 being not horror, 6 being so horrific you don't want your grandmother to see it, this gets a 4. So solid work by Fulci. Highly encourage you to see the movie Zombie. Highly encourage you to listen to the album. Highly encourage you to go back and listen to my episode I did for Zombie. And it'll give you some good insight too. All right. Thanks for listening. If you have bands you like that have a horror spin, let me know in the comments below. Listen with Intent. It's one of my friend's channel. It does a lot of heavy metal unboxing. He unboxed a Fulci album recently. I'll include a link somewhere on the screen. Check it out. Check out his channel. He unboxes a lot of cool records. He dives into records and everything, and he's big into vinyl. So a lot of his unboxings are just these vinyl records he's finding and everything. So Fulci is one he did. He's done a few other heavy metal ones as well. All right. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this debut episode. Kinks will be worked out. It'll get smoother over time. If you do enjoy it, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Those who celebrate have a very happy Halloween. And next one up is Megadeth's Peace Sells. Have a good one.